All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like and share the video, please. This is devastating news. This is part 2 of that Air India Boeing crash that killed everybody except one person, and many more that the plane that crashed into the hospital. And what you can see here, this is a picture from inside the hospital. This looks like one of the engines from the plane. They're currently this is still going live right now. It's going to be a long night over there in India as they make sense of what happened. Let's see what happens. What are we to do? Parents wait at Ahmedabad Hospital for son's remains. Wow. It's like you can't ever imagine yourself in that situation. I mean, it's so sad. But let's see. Samir Sheikh says his son, Irfan, a crew member with Air India, didn't call him very often, but he always informed him before taking off and after landing a flight. Wow. So when Sheikh received a call in the afternoon from the airline, he says he was confused. His son was supposed to be on his way to London on duty, but instead we found out he died in a crash. Sheikh, who lives in Pune City, immediately flew down to Ahmedabad with his family to collect his son's body. Wow. That's messed up. He says an Air India official at the civil hospital helped him with the identification procedure required to claim the body. But police didn't let us take my son back. They asked us to come back in 3 days after the DNA sampling all the victims was completed, he said, alleges. Wow. Devastated, him and his wife have been pacing the hospital premises looking for help and answers. What are we to do, he asked, pointing to his crestfallen wife who sits in a corner of the street sobbing inconsolably. Wow. How can we wait 3 days when we know it's our son? Yeah, that's a long time. 72 hours. Yeah. So now we break down to what could have possibly gone wrong in 30 seconds. Because the plane was just taking off as it went down and crashed. Like it was only up 200 feet in the air before it just decided to go down. So that's still under investigation right now. It's almost impossible to definitely establish what caused the disaster based on videos of the plane's brief flight. But the BBC has spoken to aviation experts to find out what might have caused the crash. They speculated on a few possible causes, and it's only 3 of them. Rare double engine failure. So I'm assuming both engines won't fail at the same time. But footage showed the plane flying low under the plane was airborne for 30 seconds. There would have been no time for the pilot to react if he had lost both engines, one pilot told him. Bird strike, which, remember that New York flight that happened, the Hudson River, what's his name, Sully Sullenberger? He ran into a flock of birds and one of the engines failed. So they had to land the plane in the Hudson River that surrounds New York. So interesting. The only difference is everybody didn't die, but a lot of times it is a bird strike. And then they're saying, from the short video that was recorded, they're saying the plane flaps. That 3 experts who spoke to BBC Verify suggested that the disaster may have occurred as the air flaps were not extended during takeoff. Though other pilots and analysts have challenged this. So yes, so maybe so. So everybody's there waiting to verify their family's remains. Wow, that's crazy. It took 2 hours to make sense of the chaos. So this is where it gets sensitive at. A police official who wanted to stay anonymous has told BBC that all the bodies and their remains have been removed from the site of the crash. It took hours to make sense of the chaos, and it's going to take many more hours to completely clear up this site, he says. The officials adds that apart from 1 or 2 lucky ones, everyone's dead. And it's not just those on board. The building the plane crashed into, which was a hospital full of medical students, many have died from our understanding. Wow. So basically the toll is more than the 241 people. It's going to be a long night for all of us, which means that death toll is going to climb up to probably 300 or more, including the people that died in the building. So what more did they hear? It's nighttime now in India, where loved ones of those who lost their lives Thursday, while they wait, we know. The other 229 passengers and 12 members were killed in the crash, the airline says. A rescue option at the, okay. So they're saying, as a reminder, at least 50 injured medical students were taken to the hospital earlier today after the plane crashed into a doctor's hostel in the western Indian city. India's Federation of All India Medical Association said 5 students were missing, but we are yet to hear of a further update. And then these are just more photos of inside that medical hospital. I'm sorry, medical school. And these were photos taken inside. Wow. A number of buildings like this one were badly damaged with twisted fragments of the aircraft stuck in between floors. So every floor they're stuck at something. Look, there's even luggage that just, wow. Everything is just all over the place. Wow. Relatives wait as authorities work to identify bodies. Yeah, that's a headache right there. Sheesh. I guess we'll play one video. Let's see what happens.
Family members and friends have gathered into this room, and actually what's happening here is really crucial. If you just look over this way, you can see that there's a lot of medical staff, and what they're doing is they're taking DNA swabs from family members because the force of the crash was so intense that many of the bodies are unrecognizable. And so now what people here are depending on is DNA testing to be able to identify family members. And what people here have been telling us is that it's probably going to take about 72 hours to fully identify these family members, which is an agonizing amount of time for people here to wait to find out any news about their loved ones.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, if you have anything you want to say that I haven't found out yet, let me know in the comment section. This is Kyle Veo. Salute to everybody in this.